What is the idea of God? Why exactly should I worship Him?
Because it's your life. You tell me, why do you worship? Let's say all these people here start worshipping Him as God. Sir, He's God. Here is God. You can have this experiment. Just declare Him God and have 100 people running after Him and touching His feet and doing all these things. And everybody will start worshipping Him. We have created a God, very convenient one with no voice at all. He is sitting up there on the skies. He cannot come and argue for himself. How convenient, no? Get into all nonsense and then say, God did it. You want to exploit women? Simply say, oh no, I am not exploiting. It is God's order. It is written in God's books.
And where would that lead to, sir? Acharya ji, I wanted to ask that what is the idea of God? That, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have said that God doesn't concern Himself with all our affairs. Then why exactly should I worship Him? Or should I even worship Him in the first place?
You tell me, why do you worship God? You are asking me, why should you worship God? That's such, what should I say, a pitiable question, because you are worshipping someone and you don't even know why you are worshipping. And then you say, why should I worship? You tell me, why do you worship? Why does anybody worship? Out of only two things, ignorance and desire. That's all. That's why you worship. Had you had no desires, would you go to any god? Please tell me. Or were you not afraid? Would you go to God? When do people queue up in front of places of worship? Temples, mosques, churches. When do you find the biggest crowds there? When there is a calamity, or students, if there is an exam. So that's the reason you worship. And you must know why you worship. Because it's your life. And worshipping is the most sacred act. Is it not? Worshipping is commitment. Worshipping is devotion. Worship is surrender. So you're surrendering yourself without knowing at all why to surrender, whom to surrender. That would mean a lot of lovelessness towards oneself. Only if I do not value myself, will I just commit myself to anything. Otherwise, if this head to bow down, if I have to bow down this head, would I not first ensure that I know? Or can I just keep bowing down to anybody? Sir, you are God. Please tell me why He can't be God. Let's say all these people here start worshipping Him as God. Won't you too queue up? That's how. When you were born, you find everybody worshipping Him. So you too started worshipping Him. That's how you worship. That's all. Sir, He's God. Here is God. You can have this experiment. Just declare Him God and have 100 people running after Him and touching His feet and doing all these things. And everybody will start worshipping Him. He's God. You take your desires and irresponsibility and you project that into an image and you call it God. First of all, you have desires, and secondly, you're not even responsible towards your desires. So you say somebody else should fulfill my desires. Now He is God. So what do? I bribe him a little. Sir, here is some food for you. And then I say, now you have to, fulfill my desires. Because I am a lazy person who first of all does not know what to desire. And after the desire has randomly come, he does not want to put in the effort to fulfill his desire. So, sir, you will do it for me because you are God. I'll worship you, I'll praise you. I'll put you up there on a pedestal. And I'll say, you are the greatest. Now you have to do it for me. He is God. Worship Him, please. That's how absurd it is. That's how absurd it is. God must be another name for truth. But the popular God is as far away from truth as possible. God must be another name for truth. But the popular conception is God is nothing but ignorance and desire and fear. Let's say you don't feel like going to him. So he will tell you if you don't go to him, he will curse you. Right? So that's what. Fear. And that also translates very quickly into social sanction. He will tell you, you go, otherwise he will curse you. And if you go and he discovers, oh, a woman coming here. Are you on your periods? Not allowed. I'm the priest. And if you enter, you'll again be cursed. Now you don't know what to do. Because there is no truth anywhere. There is no heartfelt love anywhere. There is just the pressure of the crowd and convention and tradition. And the irresistible force of desire, coupled with irresponsibility. I believe somebody pulls the strings. I believe some great power is there up on the skies, determining my life. So why should I be responsible? I screw up something and then say, oh God, what have you done? Because I'm anyway not responsible. God is doing everything. If the really omnipotent authority were doing all this, would the world be in such a mess? Please think. Think of the rubbish, the garbage on the streets. You really think the world is being run by an authority outside of yourself? No, we are the ones running this world. And we have made a mess of it. But we don't want to own the responsibility. So we bring somebody else in between. And that somebody else, poor God, cannot even come and argue for himself and defend himself and claim innocence and say, no. I have not brought the world to such a pathetic position. You have done it. We have created a God, very convenient one with no voice at all. He is sitting up there on the skies. He cannot come and argue for himself. How convenient, no? Get into all nonsense and then say, God did it. For all your prejudices, simply blame God. You want to uphold casteism? God has made the 4 varnas. So I will exploit you. Because I'm not doing it. God has already done it. You want to exploit women? Simply say, oh, no. I'm not exploiting. It is God's order. It is written in God's books. See how all holy books say that women must be kept subjugated and inferior. So you can fulfill your desires. Now you can impose yourself on the woman by saying it is God's order. This is a God of your desire. This is a God of your images. Real God is nothing but absolute truth. But the popular God is not that at all. You want to impose yourself on the ones you call as others, aliens. So you say, it is written in my holy book. See, God has written this book, or God has sent down this book, and this book says that all the infidels must be killed. Okay, all the infidels are killed. Then what do you do with their property? You give it to God? No. After killing the infidels, you enjoy their property and their land and the women and everything. Right? That was the very desire since the beginning. But you wanted to wrap that desire in something looking holy. You wanted to package that desire in morality. So you create a God and you say, no, I'm not doing it out of my own personal desire. God has ordered that I must kill all the infidels or treat somebody as a lower caste. God has ordered. This is a God of your own creation. This is a God of your own desire. This is a God of your own irresponsibility and lies. And by saying this, I'm inviting you to discover what God as truth would be like. God as truth, not God as desire or fear or irresponsibility. Get into that. You can't just imagine and come to a figure. And that is called real meditation. Dismissing God as desire and coming to God as truth.
Sir, what truth exactly? What do you mean by truth?
You can see what false is.
False, sir.
I quoted some 10, 20, 40 examples of what falseness looks like. Huh? Huh? Huh. So if you can see what falseness looks like, that's called movement into the truth. Truth doesn't look like anything. But you must know what falseness looks like.
So, truth is, if I'm not wrong, is not concerning ourselves with the external affairs and focusing on what is inside, that is the consciousness.
Even inside is outside, sir. Without these eyes that you call as being on the inside, would there be a universe on the outside? Inside, outside are just the same thing. Why are you drawing a line? It is from the soil that you rise. So where is the distinction? What do you mean by inside and outside?
So that is Dvait physiology, right?
No, that is oneness. This is one. That soil and your body is one. And you have to look at their ways. Their ways are very physical. Their ways are very causal. Their ways are very deterministic. And that's why you have medicines. Because you already know that if an experiment has succeeded on a sample of 3,000, now the same research is applicable on entire humanity, right? Because it is replicable. Because we are all very, very similar machines. Yes, doses can vary and certain other things can be adjusted, but fundamentally the same principles apply to all bodies. The moment you see that, you ask, where am I in all this? Where am I in all this? And when you ask that question, where am I in all this? That's the movement towards truth. The reality of your own being maybe is God. Who knows? Discover it for yourself. The very reality of your own being, if you can come to that. And as long as you remained satisfied with all kinds of nonsense and artificiality, your God will be just like you. When you are right within, when you have a certain love for reality, then your God will also be one with truth. Yes?
No, sir. I'll just take one last question, that what do I need to do to know myself? That
You're already doing so much, kid. Look at what you're already doing. Look at what you are already doing. You don't need to do something additional or extra. You are anyway doing something all day. Are you not? Are you not? Even at this moment, you are busy doing something, each single one of you. Can you see what you're doing? And in that seeing, there is truth. But we are unconsciously just drifting. Somebody is busy elbowing the neighbor. Somebody is doing something. Do you even know what is happening? It is in that knowing that there is truth. You don't have to do something more, something special. You have to watch what is already happening.
no, I meant to know myself, that you have said that कि खुद को जानो कुछ करने से पहले, तो खुद को सर, what do I need to do to
So
know
you
myself?
said how to worship God, let's say. What does that question tell you about yourself? That's the process of self-observation. The moment you ask that question, the question becomes the mirror. You say how to worship. Now, what does that tell you about yourself? That I'm somebody who doesn't ask whether to worship, what exactly is this thing called worship. All that I'm asking or bothering to ask is how to worship. How to worship. So that's the process of knowing oneself. Look at your thoughts, actions, questions, answers, choices, feelings, emotions, and see how your inner machinery is operating. Your relationships, your dietary choices, everything. That's what you have to look at. Now, why do you want to know in advance? Huh? Because you are afraid. You don't want to go to places that are not already known. So you're asking in advance, show me a map, give me a destination. Are there nice dhabas on the way? Huh? Why do you want to know? Isn't it sufficient that there is consciousness? Why must result be determined in advance? Because we are afraid. Because we bother so much for psychological security. Physical security is all right. You must check whether the chair would hold for the next 1 hour. Yes. Right? You must care for your tire pressure and such things. But psychological security, what exactly are you trying to protect within? Maybe the ego is trying to defend itself. Maybe all kinds of falsenesses that the ego has gathered. They are clamoring for security. So we want to prefer the old paths, even if those paths include a lot of deadness. But we would prefer them because they are predictable. So we'll say stupid predictability is preferable to illumined uncertainty. Illumination will always come with uncertainty. If you do something really truthfully, by the heart, then you will never know the consequences. So you'll be afraid and you'll rather go for something very petty, very mediocre. Why? Because that's the lane billions before you have taken, and the consequences are well known in advance. So you say, at least there is some safety security there. I'll take that road. When you are doing the right thing, never ask, what does it lead to? Never ask. Forbid this question. If you're doing the right thing, don't care about the consequences, not at all. Care about being in the right. That's what you must care about. What it would lead to is none of your business.
Sir, so I also wanted to ask that what should be worth my attention and what should not be. So, suppose, let's say that I am working towards a monetary goal, that I want to become, let's say, I want to become a doctor for to earn money, to earn a lot of money. So, should my career be the center of my attention, or is it also a small thing?
Irrespective of what you say or claim, Each one has to live for himself. Therefore, your own life has to be the center of your attention. Nothing else can be the center. Even if you try to or pretend to, your life will be the center of your attention. Look at how things are for you. Look at your room, your relationships, your friend circle, your relationship with your books, your education, your relationship with nationalism and religion, your emotions, your urges. That's what you have to look at. What else? Will you get into his life? You can't. Only your own life is available to you. So that's what you will get into.
Sir, but aren't these bodily desires that you just mentioned?
Hmm?
Aren't these that the
So do
things
you
that
say these are bodily desires? Ever told that to your girlfriend? My love is just a bodily desire. Here, in this field of attention, you can see and confess these are just bodily phenomena. But otherwise, your entire day, you keep claiming ownership, don't you? I like this, I don't like this, I love that leader, I love that actor. Do you then acknowledge that this is nothing but the inner algorithm operating? Especially when it comes to things like relationships. Would you ever confess that it is just chemicals, nothing more? Then you want to give it a divine color. No? Or the relationship, let's say, between the mother and the kid. Would you ever confess that this is just a common mammalian thing? The mother has to breastfeed the baby and there is a certain biological attachment. There is nothing holy or divine about it.
सर तो
बचा क्या?
नहीं, मुझे ये पूछना था कि let's say getting money is a bodily desire. So should I be working towards it or should I not?
You first of all see that it is nothing but the old animal in function. Don't ask me shoulds. I have no shoulds to give you. Should is something you should neither give nor take. That's the only should. Huh? You should not give should and you should not take should. That's the only should. See for yourself where all this is coming from, and then the decision gets made on its own. As we said, spontaneously. It's clear, lucid. You just say, now I see. What do you say? Now I see.
Okay, I'll just take this one last question that
God is benevolent. Did you see? There are so many of us here, but he looked only towards God. Because this is the God of desire. If he'll project his desire and God cannot even nod. God will sit like this and he'll say, now I'll take one more 10th last question. Yes.
Sir, how do I know that what I'm doing is मतलब लेट्स से हिंदी में कि वो काम सही है या नहीं, ये कैसे पता
ये
चलता
आपको
है?
नहीं जानना है कि सही है कि नहीं. वो काम क्या है आपको ये जानना है. सही गलत तुम्हें क्या पता? तुम्हें तो पता भी नहीं है तुम कर क्या रहे हो. तुम कह रहे हो सही है कि नहीं है. मैं पूछ रहा हूं किस चीज को पूछ रहे हो सही है कि नहीं है. हमारा तो ऐसा है कि ये माइक मुझको दिखाओ और पूछो कि ये भुट्टा सही है कि नहीं खाने के लिए. गलत सवाल का कोई सही जवाब हो सकता है? आप इसको क्या समझ रहे हो? भुट्टा जानते हो ना क्या होता है? भुट्टा कह रहे हैं ये जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड भुट्टा नया आया है मार्केट में काले रंग का. ये सही है कि नहीं? तो आपने तो मेरा जवाब देने का हक भी छीन लिया। आप बस यही पूछ रहे हो कि या तो बोल दो सही है या बोल दो सही नहीं है। ये पूछो ये है क्या चबाने से पहले। You cannot grant him that wish. Only he can.
सर मतलब पहले की जानो कि क्या कर रहे हो, उसके बाद डिसाइड करना है कि
तुम्हें कुछ नहीं करना है, तुम्हें जानना है। डिसीजन अपने आप हो जाएगा। तुम्हें एक बात बताओ, तुम्हें पता चल गया है भुट्टा नहीं है, तुम अभी भी चबाओगे? तुम डिसाइड करोगे, तुम कहोगे अब मुझे अभी अभी पता चल गया, नाउ आई सी व्हाट इट इज, एंड आफ्टर दैट आई स्टिल हैव टू डिसाइड। वुड देयर स्टिल बी अ नीड टू डिसाइड, और हैज द डिसीजन बीन मेड? So knowing makes deciding redundant. In knowing, there is no specific role for deciding. You need to decide because you remain confused. You remain confused because you, first of all, don't even know the options you have. And that's why so much effort is put in making decisions. And even after that, you remain confused and doubtful. Have I made the right choice?
सर तो वो जानते कैसे? हाउ डू आई नो व्हाट दैट?
Look at your teeth, how they are feeling after chewing at it. Your own experience will tell you. You think of it as bhutta, but ask your teeth what they are thinking of it as. I think, this one is my great friend, but 4 years of my life with him, and I look at my experience, and I have been put in cages. My time has been wasted. My mind has been corrupted, and I know the truth. But for that, I must not care so much for labels. If I've labeled him as a friend or a well-wisher or something, then I'll become blind to my own experience. But then, they remain mere devotees. The priest and the god, these two poor souls, they are here just to clap.
Hi, my name is Rick Bhandari. I have been connected with Acharya ji for the last 4 years almost. My journey with him started via YouTube. I started perusing his videos on YouTube, and YouTube gave me a good exposure to Acharya ji's views on a lot of societal matters, veganism, environmental awareness. Also, he was nudging in those videos to go beyond and discover who I am, or who we are, what is the truth behind all of this. During that time, I got contacted by the Gita community volunteers, and they motivated me, and they encouraged me to join the Gita community through the app, and that was a turning point in my journey. I can clearly say that I wasn't sure what I would get out of the app, the Gita community, when I began, but after a few months, when I started going through the contents of that community, I think that is priceless wisdom that is lying in the Gita community and on that app. I don't think that is available anywhere else, and there are no words that I can say to motivate people to just go and try it out. It is truly phenomenal. So if you are in this journey, I will ask you, definitely try out that Gita community. The lectures on there are priceless, and they are revolutionary in every essence of its word. Thank you, Acharya ji, for doing this to me and for doing this for all of us. Namaste.